So you can actually see that I buzzed up into the snooker room. Carp is dead. So we'll go into there. Make sure you don't get no seepage down the side, otherwise this one will clamp to it. Well, you can see that, let's clamp that shut. That's some of the piece of MDF I've got out that gap to help it close. Now the trick with this is not to put your cotton wool in too thick. You've got to build it up in layers. Just a thin bit. And that does go off really quick. That's what you got to watch. Smoking off there. Okay, how quick that's gone off. Sticking to me rather than the wood. I'm going to get that glue off my fingers obviously, and then get back to doing that again. Back again. Like always, super glue sticks to everything but what it should. I've got my paraffin blower heater just over there, you can probably hear it running. I think it's just drawn it out a bit too quick. I think that once that's gone off should be enough, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that now, let that dry off, which won't take long as you know, super glue. I'm just going to leave it a bit long. I'm going to paint all these panels, give it probably a good hour, and then I'll get back to you and see how it's worked out. Okay, I've just come into the lean-to because of sanding. I've just sanded that off flush. It had started filling that hole slightly, so what I've done, just an old drill bit. There you can't see it. Let me change hands. Nice and steady, because it is MDF. Drill bit, and just rubbed it up and down where the cotton wool is, not on the wood. And as you can see, I've just rounded that off slightly. that hole is too big. I'm going to show you how I'm going to get over that when I get to putting the unit back together. I did put some more glue in there, you can see the stain on that, and I also put some super glue on there so it'll go inside. Not as I can see doing anything really, but peace of mind, and that is a bit of strength because that's the base, and you can see a peg goes in there and you can see the shape of that hole. So hopefully my idea should tighten the holes up a treat. Well, like I said, I'll show you that when I come to put it together. This, whether I can show you, fits on the front of that, and that obviously the water's got into it. I'll move it over to you so you can see it better. That's the back of it. As you can see, the water's got into that. I don't know whether to go out and buy a new piece of wood or just try and glue that back together. What I might do is glue it together. If it don't work, go out and buy a piece of wood, because there's another panel that comes off the side of here and the other side. I'll just show you them. You can see them all absolutely riddled with damp. That piece there, that'll come up. That piece there snapped in half. That's how it was on the unit. There ain't no way I'm going to glue that, and so I'd rather just go out and buy some wood. But you can see the damp. It's only day stink. You can see the mould and the damp on it. But all the other panels, just give them just one coat, and look how good that's gone on. All the other panels, I've just given them a second coat. Then I've got to wait for them to dry. I'm gonna paint the other side of them till tomorrow. They've got to dry out properly, because as soon as I flip them out, I should have done it the other way around really. Done the back of the panels first. If I flip that over now, the chance it's going to mark. That's the front of the cabinet. It's the doors. But if not, I'll have to stand them up and paint them that way. I don't like standing them up because the wood, especially in a damp shed, the wood warps. I don't want that to happen. It's in a bad enough shape as it is. So I'm going to make a cup of tea. I've only just done them 2 panels and the other 3 panels because the heat have dried. And that panel there to the right is the first panel done with the base that had already had one coat on it. So I'll get back to you when it's all dried and painted both sides. Well, I just took the clamps off, had me a bit of dinner and a cup of tea, come back. I'm quite pleased with that. Chunk out of that there, but you don't really see that, but I think I'm going to try filling that with cotton wool. What I want to do, a bit of a split in there still, look. What I'm going to do before I do anything else, I'm going to try and burn all that crap off and see how it turns out. I burnt it all off, sanding it down. Obviously the underside here is good, and that's the part that you don't see. I took the nails out. If they go back into the same position, I don't think they'll hold anyway. There's probably wondering why I using wood filler. If you put wood filler in there and tap it, I should imagine the wood filler would fall out. And I've got that there, can't probably tell on camera. A bit of a chunk. It has come away slightly there, look, through the vibration of the sander. That side's stuck. It looks like a crack in that, but it's just the colour of the wood there. So I'm going to put a bit of glue. I'm going to put some in that crack. Sorry about the camera work. It's just a funny shape to try and hold. I'm going to put some super glue in there and clamp it again. And I'm going to put cotton wool and super glue in there and build that up and see what happens. I'm here at B&Q in Wednesbury. Come for a piece of wood for the fish tank unit. I don't know if you'll actually catch it. Should have been £10. I got it for £4 because it's bent like a banana. Ideal for the front of the tank. Bonus. Just putting the timber in the back of my van, you can actually see the bend on it. Should have been £10. I'm hoping that's the right bend for the front of the fish tank unit. What a breezy bonus. Well, I'm back from B&Q and the bend water's bad or as good as I was hoping. Whether I'll get that bend in order, I don't know. I bought some filler anyway. There's nothing wrong with that really. It can be used. I bought some filler just for them little spots there. You can't see it anyway, but just so it sits flush when it's back on the unit. But I might try and put some white on that in this weather. Leave it outside under the baby's shelter and see if I can get it to bend like it. Progress on the fish tank unit, if anybody's interested. This is supposed to be paint for MDF. Shouldn't need any primer. One coat covers it. Exactly what it doesn't say on the tin. Anyway, that's had one coat. I've just been out and fetched. It's just an old gazebo cover, so we don't get paint. I know I've got a cover on my table, so I don't get paint on my table. Another panel there, one coat of paint. As you can see, it's supposed to only take one coat. That's the bullshit paint of the week. It is what it is. The other panels are here. You've seen me do a few repairs on a couple of these, ready for paint. What I'll do is, if you notice, little wooden battens underneath. I'll put the wooden battens underneath to paint them. Got my trusty paraffin heater on. Cracking bit of kit that, blowing hot air. I've got one more panel that I've got to repair. Where this is the top of the unit, the bottom of the unit, there's a bigger hole and the timber there is bubbled out. I'm going to show you how I'm going to repair that to strengthen it back up. Okay then, starting to put the unit back together. I've wire brushed the fittings, screwed them back into place. Now the holes, for some reason, you can see how much that is out of shape. So my idea is, if I can just lean that up there, I've got some plastic tubing. I've tried that over the top of that fitting. It's a nice snug fit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut little sections of that pipe off, stick them onto that stud, then hopefully when it goes in there it should be a nice tight fit, stop the unit wobbling about. So I'll cut a couple of them up, try it and get back. The second coat turned out rather well. That's the base. One of the doors. Because of the paint, I the best, I never bother trying to put it on too thick. Thinnest layer possible, just to do an undercoat. All you do is waste paint, or trying to put it on thick. And that's the panel I've done with the base. Second coat, looking rather good. I'm going to try and get me some timbers now for over that side. And do these two side panels, because that glue now should be dry. In fact, what I'll do is see if it comes apart. There you go, you can see there's showing a little bit of a split there, look. Sand that down now and I'll get like a paint in, or like a paint on. It's a bit of a shame about them there really. I might just put a bit of glue in them so it seeps in. Stop it getting any worse. And I have wiped the panels out before I paint them, just with a rag. I have bothered putting out chemical on. You can actually see the stain in that timber. That was obviously the bottom of the unit. That's how the water soaked up into the MDF. If that had been chipboard, it'd have been in the bin now. See how it looks when it's painted. As you can see, because they've wore away the movement on the unit. So just to try and tighten them fittings up, I want to put the plastic tube over the top of them studs. Now as you can see, I've just cut a little piece of that tube off, slid it over the top of the stud. I've already done this one, I just need to knock that down a little bit more, and that now is solid. That was a good idea. All I've done is this back one here, that was loose. This front one here, that one there, there's no movement in that one, so I'm not putting one on that. Just the ones that need it, just to tighten the frame up. All the hinges and the door handles all cleaned up, ready to go back on. Just put the final coat of paint on the last bits of the fish tank unit. That part there, as you've seen before, was absolutely black. That is the top of the cabinet. That is the actual top of it where the tank sits. Underneath, as you know, it's compressed the weight of the tank and the water. I have been driving around trying to find a bit of timber, but the price is just absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to make do with what I've got. All I've got left to do now, I'm waiting for some fixings to join the cabinet together on them little studs. I'll show you that when I get them. Monday now, I'm going to wait till Monday, and then the top of the tank, they've painted that black. Yeah, the top of the tank they've painted black and put bling on that. That's plastic, and somehow they've sealed it or glued it on. I'd look earlier on trying to get it off, and without breaking it and ruining everything, I've just decided to leave it. I'm just going to try and get the bling off. I've got different chemicals that I used to use when I was valeting, getting glue and stuff off. But with plastics, you've got to be very careful because you can melt them. So I'm thinking is if I can just get the glue off where they've stuck them little glittering mirror things on, I'll just flat it and then spray it with an aerosol can again. But I'll show you that when I've done that. Progress of the fish tank, still where it was when I painted it Sunday. I've ordered some parts, see if I can show you what they are. Them old, it's a very old unit, and they've changed the fixings, and I can't get the fixings from anywhere by me. I've had to order them from Ireland. That's what they are. They've all crowded and rotted. You're probably thinking why I use them too big. I can't use the new fittings because you see the pegs in the bottom of the unit there. It's actually a plastic, I suppose you call like a raw plug or a plastic grommet that's fitted into the wood, and then them steel pegs there screw into the grommet. So without trying to pull them out and breaking all the, it's on the MDF. I've just waited. Royal Mail, of course, have gone on strike right on top of Christmas. I hope they all have a very nice Christmas, ruining everybody else's. But you can't blame them, I suppose. the right of everything that's going up. That they deserve a pay rise like everybody else. The government can get it, so why shouldn't everybody else? That's me chatting bubbles anyway. So they should have come Monday. Today is Thursday. I have messaged them, but there's nothing they can do. It's out their hands. It's all down to Royal Mail. So as soon as I get my fittings, I can get the unit back together. I have started work on the tank. That had been all aerosol black as well, and it's plastic. And you'll see that on another video. I ordered some of these from Northern Ireland. As you all know, Royal Mail went on strike. So I ended up ordering some off Amazon. It's been over 2 weeks now, still I received them from Ireland. They've been really nice people though. It's their fault. So I've ordered these from off Amazon. The idea of this tubing, I've just tried to put that back in there. What happened was, when I've pushed the board on top of the peg, that was all mangled up. I've undone it, but you can see how it's all smashed up. So that bit of pipe there was too tight for the peg. So I'm going to try and do now, just put my heat on up my shed. I'm just going to try and put the bottom back together. Now the problem I've got is, you can just see the tube coming through there, which means this is the old one. It means that clip will go in that hole. Now I've tried putting it on the stud first and then putting this piece of wood on, but then it squashed the whole lot inside there. So I've just put the tube in the hole and pushed on again, and you can see it shoved that through there. So I'm either going to have to try and cut that little bit off or get it out and try a different way. As you can see, it's starting to come back together. The rubber tubes have done the job. They've stiffened it up lovely. The problem I've got now is I'm going to put I've changed these screws. That's what come out, and you can see the wood on the screw. They're doing nothing at all. I'll show you the length of these, and these are doing nothing. So if you look at the size of the new one I've put in to that one, and the new one ain't pinching up neither. I'm going to take that panel out. I'm going to put super glue in the hole and cotton wool in the hole, and then hopefully I can get a better grip. But it's coming along nicely. As I've scraped the vinyl off this fascia here, I thought that was the back of the tank, and I'd noticed where I caught it with a blade, it had took a few chunks out of it. You can see them clearly there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some filler in them, let them go off, because that is the front of the cabinet. The same again, there's one there. It's not a lot, but it will be visible. So I'm just going to, while it's still in bits, I want to put a little bit of filler on that, and then I can paint over it again, sand it and paint it. This panel here, I'm undecided what to do, to be honest with you. If I can just get the screw, sorry about the camera work. Where have I put it now? These screws I'm dropping straight in. Now my thinking was, fill it with super glue and cotton wool, because it goes off like a resin, and then re-drill it, or do I put a raw plug? Now if I put a raw plug in it, this is just MDF, which is, in my opinion, rubbish really. It's alright, I suppose, when it's brand new, puts together. It's meant to be took apart, I think that's what it is. If I put a raw plug in, the chances are it might split that panel. It's only the back of the tank unit, so it won't really matter. It really, this is just a shelf support, this is. So you put shelves into, put all your fish tank stuff, equipment, you all know that anyway. So my thinking was put a raw plug in there, but I think if I put a raw plug in, I know before I put little dowels in, or When you used to be able to get your old matches, you used to put a few matches in there and then you could put that in. You can even split pieces of wood and put them in. I'm just worried about that splitting out that way. So I'm undecided yet what I'm going to do. When I make my mind up, I'll get back to you and I'll let you know what I did decide. There you go. I've decided to go down the raw plug route. Now that you can see that, it's split. That one's okay, about the same. And I've tapped that in so slightly. But it is what it is. Get it back on and see how it tightens up. Now I put raw plugs in, I've decided to try a smaller screw first, so as not to split the timber anymore. See what happens. Left the filler for a few days. Just gonna flat that down with a little bit of 320 and then touched up with paint. That's that side. And that's that side. Both of them screws have gone in absolutely rock solid. Alright, sanded it down. I used a fresh piece of paper, a little block order. I've got a proper rubber block that they use for car body panels, but as long as it's flat, just flatted a little bit of that as well, just to keep for the paint. Now I've noticed, which I knew before, when the unit was took apart before, they've pulled the fitting out that. It's MDF. Like I said before, I don't know that I'll be able to show you, but that's bugging me, that is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break that off. Here, I've got it up, look. I'm going to break that off. There you go. I'm just going to stick a little bit of filler in there. That's just me being LCD, whatever they call it. So I'm just going to put a bit of filler in that and put a bit of paint inside the cupboard, your car seat, but me being picky. So I'll stick some filler in that and just give that a lick of paint and then leave it for another day or two. Quick sand, lick of paint, what a difference. And I've put some filler in there. I'll flat that out a couple of days, maybe tomorrow. The same this side. It ain't perfect, it's a lot better than what it was. Okay, then I'm just reassembling the doors. I'm sure you've all seen this time and time again. I have done the one door, just put the hinge on that one. You know how it works. The only thing is I've gone out and bought all brand new screws. Of course, the point in putting dirty, rusty screws back in it after they went to that extreme. Probably worked out cheap to have bought a new unit. Not really, but there you go. Now I'm going to try and fit them onto the unit. As you know from a previous video, I use super glue and cotton wool, and it's supposed to dry like a resin. You probably can't see that very well, but I'm just about to drill an hole just to see if it holds the screw. So I'll drill the hole and then get back to you with the screw. Obviously it only needs 2 the drill bits. I'll see if I can do this now. Probably not. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get that screw in and then I'll get back to you so see if it's worked or not. Okay, then as you can see, the screws ain't very long anyway. And I've just got it to start to bite. I just wanted to see if it's actually, well, you can tell by the sound of that that I even tight. So that's working a treat, that is. So if you've got problems with your cupboards, that's lock solid now on that one. If you've got problems with your cupboards, rather than throw them away, because you know this happens regular, chipboard and too much now. Too much again now. Yeah, as you know, your hinges start to hang off and your shelves drop on that. Instead of throwing away and buying a new cupboard, stick a bit of the old super glue in, fill it with cotton wool, a bit more super glue, and just keep building it up. And there, as you've seen, that one there has gone lock solid. I've also done one on the bottom there and two on the other side, and they've all done exactly the same. So that's a cracking little tip that I've had off YouTube, and I hope it helps some of you out. And as you can tell, my fittings never come from Ireland, thanks to, well, in time, from Royal Mail due to the strike. So I bought some off Amazon. The ones that I ordered from Ireland have turned up now, but obviously I'd finished the unit anyway. So, but the little plastic tubes that put over the fittings there have made that absolutely solid. It's going nowhere now, so it's almost like a brand new unit again. I'm well chuffed with that.